All right. Okay. Thursday, the 15th of August. Yeah, evening time now. So you're watching this in the evening, or maybe you're watching this past Thursday. It's 2024 right now. Let me guess your situation. You didn't sleep last night. You couldn't. You were too nervous. You knew you didn't revise enough. You knew you didn't study hard enough. You knew you bombed that exam. And you've known all summer. And you've managed to push it to the back of your head for long enough, but it's results day, and you're not able to sleep. You're texting your friends are nervous too, but they seem slightly more calm than you. You open your results, they're exactly what you expect. They're terrible. You've missed your firm, you've missed your insurance, and you can't even match most clearing places and unis you'd like to go to. Your family are suggesting all sorts of things to you. They're disappointed, they're angry, they're hurt, they're sad. They believed in you, and you're disappointed. Right? It's a matter of fact. You're speaking to them, and what they want for you is for your life to move forward, for your life to keep momentum. They don't want to see you stop. They're telling you, just go to any uni. Just go to any uni through clearing. It doesn't matter if it's good or not. Just go. Just do your degree. Doesn't matter. Your dad's kind of annoyed. Your mum's hurt, let down. Your siblings that look up to you, if you have any younger siblings, are a bit confused because they expected better from you. That's where you are. And you're listening to your parents, and you have to find a uni very quickly to go and do clearing. And you're thinking, what if I resat my A levels? And then you're thinking, no. Let's not do that. Let's not resit. That's shameful. That's embarrassing. Why would I resit? That's a whole year of my life. It's going to be lonely. It's not worth it. Well, my name is Rashan. I am 21 years old. I am currently working on a placement year at Jaguar Land Rover as an engineer. And I study mechanical engineering. And I'm here to tell you that I failed my A levels. And I resat. So let's recap a little bit, or rewind, I should say. I was a very, very talented kid. You know, on the gifted and talented list, as I'm sure some of you on this video watching it have been labeled. I went through high school, kind of coasted through it, revised for my GCSEs the morning of. Got to my A levels, focused much more on socializing than I did on studying, I mean. Got to my exams, it was COVID. Half of the content was stripped from the exams. You'd think that would be an easy A-star walk, but nope. 2 subjects, I got all U's in my exams. And my teachers liked me so much, and I had exceptional circumstances enough that my teachers graded me a C. Engineering, I was kind of always okay at, but I completely flopped my final project and I got a U on it. And that averaged out to about a C. So let's go through this from my perspective. I did not study hard enough, did not work hard enough, knew I bombed my exams, was worried the entire of August, did not sleep the night before results day, opened my results, 3 C's, C. I come from an Asian household, A stars are expected. My dad comes upstairs, he's smiling, he's grinning, he thinks that I'm an achiever, he thinks I'll have achieved something, and he looks at my grades a little bit confused, and he stumbles back downstairs, and he tells me to come down, and my gut, my chest, it closed in. I could feel the walls closing in around me, and I'm thinking I'm gonna have to look at my dad in the eyes and explain what the hell happened. My mum's stood or sat in the living room. My dad is sat on the sofa. He tells me to sit down, and he asks me what happened. And I say, I don't know. And I blame everything but myself. My little brother's in another room, kind of listening in on the conversation. He's a bit confused. He doesn't really understand. And we go into the kitchen, and we're talking more and more and more. And my family want me to enroll at a uni that I won't name that was really not good, that I could get into through clearing. And he's like, just go. Just go. Just don't stay like this. And I'm in the kitchen and I look at him and I say, I want to resit. And he goes berserk. He cannot fathom the idea that his son would retake a year. What a shameful thing to do, right? But like I said, I am now working as an engineer at one of the most prestigious automotive companies in the world, studying mechanical engineering at a top 10 uni. How'd I pull that off if I was at a triple U and my parents were strictly against me resitting? Well, I enrolled in a college. I argued with my parents as much as I could. I tried to make them see my point of view. I tried to explain to them that, look, I would rather go and study somewhere I know will be good for me than just live somewhere at some university that I won't like for 3 years. They didn't understand at first. My mom came around before my dad did, but throughout the year I had a lot of snide remarks, a lot of kind of, little pokes, chinks in the armor. And I studied my heart out, but even then I didn't study as hard as I could have. But I went from essentially a triple U. I know I told you C's, but it's because my teachers liked me. Essentially a triple U, all the way to ABB, just missing out on AAB. Now, I'd say that's a pretty hefty improvement. And what that should show you is resitting your A-levels is absolutely worth it. You'll have called up unis in clearing today, won't you? You'll have called them and you'll have asked them, look, please, I'm just one grade off. And they'll have told you, we don't give a fuck. Well, they won't have said that, but that's what you'll have heard. We don't fucking care. We do not care. That is your problem. You didn't achieve what you needed to. That is your issue. Well, when I called up unis after getting my results the second time, I can tell you, all of a sudden, they were falling at my feet to fill a spot. Me, an ABB student, not even A stars, because they want students, as long as you can meet the requirements. And these were good universities. The moral of my story and the moral of this predicament that I have envisioned is to tell you it is absolutely worth it to resit your A levels, and it can. And if you do the right things, it will change the trajectory of your academic life. What you can do, where you can go, the person you will be, the person you will become. Everything can be altered by trying again. And there will be sacrifices that have to be made. There will have to be things that you come to understand. There will have to be new habits that you implement, a better work ethic. You will have to make this the priority for 1 year, just 1 year, not even 1 year, 9 months, just for 9 months. Just make this number one, and it is absolutely worth it. So here's what I'm going to do in this video. What I'm going to do is try to help you go from the moment you are in right now to getting your results this time next year. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to walk you through absolutely everything that you need to do. I'm going to talk about a few things. I'm going to talk about how to handle your family, because they will obviously have things to say, your family, your friends. I'm going to tell you how to handle loneliness, something you will inevitably feel this year. I'm going to talk to you about the workload. I'm going to talk to you about taking accountability first and foremost. We're going to think about what you did wrong and what you can improve. And then we're going to go through a structured revision plan starting in September to get you those beautiful, glorious A stars. Because if you outperform how I did, it'll make me happy. Because I am someone who firmly believes in redoing the year if need be. because the fruits of that are unparalleled. There's no point in you right now going somewhere you do not want to be when you know you can do better. When some part of you wants to resit, but it's that shame that's holding you back, that doubt that's holding you back. Don't let that doubt get to you. Watch this video. Let's get through it. All right. Okay. What is the number one thing that you need to do this year to make sure that this time next year, you do not just come out with the same results? It's to take accountability. It's to accept that this is your fault. Unless you had some tragic circumstance. But, even you guys who are being very, very sympathetic to yourselves, if you're honest, if you really look inside your heart, you know that if you had worked harder, this wouldn't be a problem. The first thing we need to do is learn to take accountability. Take accountability with your friends, take accountability with your family, but most importantly, take accountability with yourself. Be honest with yourself about what you did wrong and why you are in the situation that you are in right now. When you accept that this is your fault, you will be able to progress much quicker than when you're still making excuses, than when you're still blaming other things. Accountability is where it starts. Your mindset is what will differentiate you from the version of you that you are going to be this year versus the version of you that you were this previous year that has ended up with these grades. Take accountability. I cannot stress it enough. It is the single most important thing I did that year. Was stop blaming COVID, stop blaming home, stop blaming my mental health. Work on your mental health, absolutely, because better mental health means better performance. But sometimes, even when it isn't your fault, just for the sake of driving yourself forward and pushing every little smidge of performance you have out of you, it is better to blame yourself. It's better to take accountability. Blame yourself even though it isn't your fault. And you know what will happen? It'll benefit you, because when you blame yourself, you'll work harder. You'll do the work because you'll think this was my fault. I should change this. I should have been more prepared. I should have been in a state where no matter what happened, I was unshakable. But you weren't. Take accountability. Hone your mindset. Hone your mind. This year will do great things for you. Secondly, let's talk about family expectations, or just your family in general. Now, many of you watching this will come from familial backgrounds that put a lot of pressure on academics. Me personally, I'm South Asian. I come from, like I mentioned earlier, a very, very academic background with a lot of academic expectations. I was an extremely talented child, and my parents kind of always thought I would pull it off one day and just get back to how I was. That didn't happen, and my family was distraught. And throughout the whole year, I'm not going to lie to you, they kept making snide remarks. They kept saying things here or there. They didn't really get it. They were disappointed. They were hurt. They were angry. They saw all of their friends' kids move forward, and they saw me stay behind. Here's what I will tell you. Your family might be emotional. Your family might annoy you. Your family might say mean things to you. You might have to deal with that. You might have to deal with that by becoming stronger mentally, by deriving happiness from other places temporarily. I'm not talking about vices. I'm talking about natural happiness, like going on a walk or something, or going to the gym, okay? Your family will give you shit, will say things here and there that really piss you off. You need to use that anger on your books, on your practice papers, on your practice questions. What you need to understand about your family is they will say everything under the sun until you sit your exams, you get your results in your hand the following year, 1 year from now, and you blow everyone away with your results. And all of a sudden, guess what? It's, oh yeah, I always thought you should resit. That's what it will become. When you have a million options of what you can do with your life because you've smashed your resets, your family is not going to have shit to say. Do you understand? Do you understand how stupid they would be to say resetting was a bad idea if you've improved your grade to a point where you now have 5 times as many options as you did earlier? Of course not. That would be dumb on their part. Manage your family by knowing that the outcome of your hard work will neuter whatever arguments they have. It is worth it. They will be difficult. If you can get one of your parents on your side, my mum came around eventually. She was sweet eventually. She was supportive eventually. It made it so much easier. When your family upset you, talk to your friends, talk to your closest friends, talk to the people that you can trust to hear you out, to understand you. Blow off that steam and then get back to work. Because what would be even worse is your family giving you shit for you to end up getting similar grades the next year. Yeah? Okay, moving on. Now, a very important thing to do is to think about, what did I do wrong? Why have I failed? Why have I ended up with grades that are not as high as I needed? What were my missteps? What were my misunderstandings? Me personally, I just didn't study. Didn't study the content at all. So, for me, my focus was all about socializing, talking to people, making friends, doing all sorts of things. And I had a month left before my exams, and I knew half the content was not going to be on the exams. I could have learnt it, but still, my priorities, people who know me will know what my priorities were in that month, but my priorities then were all over the place. I did not focus on my work. I did not prioritize myself and my future above other things. And what happened was, because I did zero work, logically, I did really bad on my exams. Now, if it's as simple as I didn't work hard enough, that's quite easy. You just work more. For a lot of you guys, it'll be that I didn't revise correctly. Maybe you focused too much on notes. Maybe you didn't do enough practice papers. Maybe you didn't do a big enough variety of questions. Maybe you didn't talk to your teachers. Maybe you did the practice questions, but you didn't really understand it. Then you got to the exam and a question tested your understanding rather than your ability to just do an integral or read off a fact from a book. Maybe that's what separated you from getting a decent grade for the grade that you needed. Maybe that's what separated you from an A to an A star. Who knows? You have to figure out, first and foremost, what you did wrong. When you know what you did wrong, this year becomes infinitely easier because you can target that thing that you did wrong. You can target what you know you need to work on. And when you do that, you can achieve whatever you want. All right. Okay, let's talk about structure. Now, revision is all well and good, but structured revision is where it's really at, where you know what you're going to be working on every hour that you're working. I am going to put this structure in place for you because coming up with something good can be difficult and can take a lot of time. If you follow this, it requires discipline to stay consistent, but the actual workload is not that bad, and I don't really want to hear any complaints from you that's just failed at A-levels. Yeah? Fair enough? Yeah? Cool. So what you're going to do is you're going to enroll at a college. Yes, you are going to go back to college. No, you are not going to sit them alone. Whilst it is possible to sit them alone, it isn't recommended. At least I don't recommend it. I would say that having teacher support is invaluable. It's priceless. You can't put a number on it. It will help you in ways that you don't quite understand. A good teacher will boost your morale more than you can imagine. I had the loveliest teachers. I had I won't name them. I had a physics teacher and a maths teacher who both understood my plight at resitting, how kind of depressed and lonely I was, and what I wanted to get out of it. And they were both just the most amazing teachers. They helped me believe in myself, of course, but they also explained things and gave me resources and helped me understand what I needed to understand, helped me through any problems that I had. Go back to college, bite the bullet. Look, I know you don't want to be in college all day. You don't want to be studying all day in lessons, structured lessons with people younger than you. I get that. Just do it. All right? Is that out of the way? You're going to have to. Cool. So this is what you're going to do in September. From the 1st of September, you are going to work 2 hours on the weekend and 1 hour after college. And then September will end. In October, you're going to do 3 hours on the weekends and 2 hours after college. So a little bit of a bump up. And then in November, you're going to do 4 hours on the weekend and still 2 hours after college. Now, in 84 days, yes, I've taken my months as exactly 4 weeks. You will have done 172 hours of revision, which might be more than what you did for your actual exams, and this is only the end of November. You are going to carry on that November rate. So, like I said, 4 hours on the weekend, 2 hours after college. You are going to do that until the end of January. All of this revision until the end of January will be content-based revision. What I mean by that is you are just going to try and understand the content for every single subject. Okay? That might seem daunting, but here's what I'm going to tell you. In all of that time, from the start of September to the end of January, you will have done 316 hours of studying. Divide that by 3, and you get more than 100 hours each purely devoted to understanding the content and then trying to implement that understanding in practice questions, which are usually fairly easy. What do you think will happen if you do that? What position do you think you'll find yourself in with your understanding of the subjects? You might understand them better by the end of January than you did for your actual exams. Then, my hand's very close to the camera there, then your learning is going to take a 10. Then what you're going to do is you are going to do purely practice papers. You are going to obviously store your notes. I'm not telling you to go burn them, but no more notes. You are going to do purely practice papers. Okay? Great. If you do practice papers every single day for the next 3.5 months, just one paper for any subject every day, what else are you doing? Why wouldn't you? I know, I can feel people clamoring at me. All of a sudden, this video is nonsense. Why would you not do it? Just one paper every day. That is not as hard as it sounds. And guess what? Once you understand the content, you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy doing the questions. You'll like how it feels to actually be able to do that stuff. If you do one paper every single day, you will have done 35 papers for each subject. 35 past papers for each subject. If you do a paper every other day, I'm not judging you, but if you can't do a paper every day, if you do a paper every other day, you will have still done 17 or 18 papers for every single subject. You probably didn't do that many for your actual exams, did you? Now, I know you're saying, Rajan, there aren't that many papers. Redo them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you don't understand, that's when you go to your notes and then you try that question again. And if you still don't understand, then you go to your teacher and you ask them to explain it. Guess what? Teachers want to help you. Teachers want to support you. Teachers want to get you to that A star because it makes them look good as well. And also because they chose to be a teacher for a reason. If you show initiative, if you come to them with papers and questions about their subject, they will most likely help you. And if they don't, you can probably find another teacher who will. And if they don't, you can go to the headmaster and they will definitely have something to say about it. So, all right, I lost my train of thought there. What I'm trying to tell you is you will have done at that point, if you follow the structure that I have written out for you, more than 100 hours every subject of just content-based revision. On top of that, you will have done 17 or 18 papers minimum if you do a paper every other day for each subject. So that is from the end of January to mid-May. You will have done 17 or 18 papers for each subject. And if you do one every single day, you will have done 35 papers for each subject. I mean, come on. Do you really think you wouldn't be in a better position then? You tell me. Yes, it requires work, but think about where that could take you. Think about where you would be. I think it's worth it. And I think you think it's worth it too, but you're still afraid. You're afraid of the shame, and you're afraid of the loneliness. So you and me, let's talk about loneliness. Let's talk about mental health. Let's talk about the transition period to restarting year 13 and coming to terms with what's happening in your life. Yes, your mental health will take a hit initially. I think people misinterpret mental health. I view mental health to be more like mental strength. If you're mentally strong, you have good mental health. If you don't have anxious, nervous thoughts, you have good mental health. If you have belief and confidence in yourself, you have good mental health. That is obviously very vague in general, but I think it's accurate. And I think in terms of functionality, it's really all that matters right now. In a transition period, you have to accept your friends will have gone to uni. They will have started their new lives. They are not neglecting you per se, but they are just too busy to interact with you the way they did. That does not mean your friendships are over. It simply means that you need to focus on what you need to do right now. Because your friends will still be there in half term. Your friends will still be there during the breaks. Your friends will still be there in the summer after you've done your exams, and you can catch up and you can talk about what you've been through. But right now, understand that where you are in your life is almost like it's like a fork path. I don't know how to describe that, but it's a path with two splitting branches. You can either cry about your friends and not do any work, or you can understand that they'll still be there in the summer and you can start working, and then you can enjoy the time with them next summer because you know you worked hard, and really you already know that you've gotten good results just from how you felt in those exams. My recommendation to you is to speak to a counselor. Some of my more, traditionally masculine friends won't like that. I think speaking to a counselor is very valuable, especially in a situation like resitting. I think they can offer you a lot of support. They can support you through hard conversations. They can help you come to terms with the position you're in. That shouldn't last too long though, because at some point you need to let go of that and you need to be your own person. So I'd say the maximum should be New Year. The maximum should be New Year that you're speaking to a counselor. And obviously if you have any like tragic emergencies and you decide to go and speak to one, cool. But I'm talking about it being a regular thing. You need to be wary. Other helpful habits include eating healthy food, drinking a lot of water, sleeping a decent amount, at least like 6.5 hours every night, going on long walks in nature. Nature is scientifically proven to make you happy. Go on long walks around the city. Go and find a park that you won't get stabbed in and go for a walk. Look at the trees, smell the flowers, look at the grass. You get what I'm trying to say. Doing things like this, going to the gym, exercise. Exercise is a good one. Doing things like this will help you when it comes to staying sane during this year. In the half terms, in the term breaks, meet up with your friends. Hang out with them. Have days out with them. Don't lock yourself in a room and think to research successfully, you need to only study. Even during college time, I've said 4 hours on the weekend. You have a long day. You still have a lot of time where you could do things you enjoy that refresh you. What I'm not trying to do is have you locked in a room thinking the only way out is to study like an animal. That isn't true. You can still enjoy this year. Chances are you will learn a lot about yourself. You will develop parts of yourself that were not previously developed. And I think it'll be good for you. So yeah, that is how I handle loneliness. Is I meditate, I journal as well sometimes. I fill my life with good habits. So this is what I did during my Resit year anyway. Fill my life with good habits. I love nature. I love trees. I love green. I love rain. I love sun. Fill your life with nature. Fill your life with peaceful things. Don't consume stupid shit. Don't eat a bunch of sugary shit. Drink water. Eat healthy food. Don't listen to music 24/7. That dopamine spike hits like a fucking drug. Don't do drugs. Don't drink. I feel like these are things I shouldn't need to tell you. Don't play video games. Video games will steal your ambition from you by making you feel like you're achieving something whilst your grades kind of rot in a corner. These are my helpful habits. Yeah. Okay, now I wanted to make this video for a long time because resitting was the best choice that I ever made, and it's completely changed the trajectory of my life. If I had gone to that shit uni, I wouldn't have studied as hard as I do, or I have. I wouldn't have applied myself to all these extracurriculars like I have. I would have done who knows what with, it would not have been good for me at all. And I'm so glad that I pushed back against my parents a little bit and I accepted the shame I was feeling and I resat, because now I am in the type of position that I could only have dreamt of being in, even if I had gotten 3 A stars. Resitting is okay. And when you get to university, if you go to university, you will realize that a lot of people repeated a year at some point, either within uni or either just before uni. It's not that uncommon and it's okay. It is worth it. And I'm not telling you there won't be a ton of shit to deal with. I'm not telling you you won't feel lonely. I'm not telling you your family won't give you shit. I'm not telling you your friends won't ignore you. I'm not telling you any of that. I'm not telling you this is going to be really easy. I'm telling you that it is 100% going to be worth it. It was, if you work, if you put in the work, if you figure out what you did wrong and you fix it, if you understand the content and then do all the questions and do practice papers and figure things out and have healthy habits and eat well and drink well and sleep well and spend time with your family and your loved ones, or spend time with your friends in the chances that you get, it will 100% be worth it, and you will come out of it a better person. All right. That's all from me. If you like this video, I run a separate YouTube series that has absolutely nothing to do with A-levels or education, but maybe you'll like it. Well, I've been Rushan. This has been my video on how to reset your A-levels. I hope I have given you ample advice and motivated you plenty to hit the books and find out what you're truly capable of. Okay. I know the world must seem very dark and gloomy and as if you have no options. Believe me, I've been there. I've been 18 years old, terrible grades, thinking, what am I going to do with my life? And I can tell you that life will sort itself out. It will fall into place if you apply yourself. And should you choose to resit, and I hope you do, I hope this video pushes you over that last sort of doubt you had. If you resit and if you apply yourself, it will 100% be worth it. Okay, See you guys in the next one. Good luck.